Welcome back, everyone. It's so good to be here with you for another Your Weekly Roar podcast. Can't believe it's been going on, I think, 13 weeks, 14 weeks. Incredible. Brandon's here with me. My name's Dustin, and we're going to talk to you guys about a lot of fun stuff today. We'll start off talking about some of the stuff in our ecosystem. Brandon's got an incredible story to share that you're not going to believe. That's pretty awesome about this crypto world we're in. Give you some encouragement as the markets are down and sideways and all that good stuff here in what we had hoped to have been October, but is not quite up yet. And then we'll talk about things that we really want to put on your front end dashboard and radar, which does affect the crypto market we're currently in, as well as your and mine, everyone's future. So anyway, let's start off with just talking about some stuff in our ecosystem. And the first thing we will talk about is the fact that we have the R0AR platform 2.0 season 2 live, my friends. So I got to tell you, Brandon, I'm excited because number one, it's rewarding what we want replicated. We always talk about that. But number two, we're bringing people to our chain. Guys, R0AR chain has been out of beta in mainnet since July of this year. And our whole goal is how can we get 10,000 wallets, 10,000 users immediately on that chain. We already have over 30,000 to 40,000 members in our ecosystem that have utilized the platform or our wallets or our chain or the testnet or have bought NFTs, just 10,000 there, and the wallet's all connected and the airdrops and everything. So we have a massive ecosystem. Now we're saying, come join us on the R0AR chain. Why spend all the money on Ethereum whenever you can come over for low transaction fees, higher rewards, and faster times? Like, why wait 15 minutes sometimes for finalization? 7 to 15 minutes, way too long, and spend a fee that's literally 100 times more when you can come for like almost zero in fees and transaction times that are 2 seconds. Amazing. 3 seconds tops. You can look at all of our data on our chain. It is rolling. So we're bringing over the R0AR platform over to that space. Brandon, what does that mean? Like, what is the R0AR platform about? What does it do?
Well, it's incredible. Our community can come there, like you just said, they can bridge tokens over and they can stake and they can get rewards, and it's all about that community participating on our chain is really what it's about, and just being a part of what we're doing there. And I'll be honest, when we work over there every day and then we go and we do transactions in other places, it's a little bit frustrating because it's so fast on our chain, and then you go to Ethereum and you gotta wait, and then you go to Base and you gotta wait, and it just depends on where you are. It's so much faster, and I think our community is gonna love that aspect of it as well.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, staking, farming, and all the things you've done before, we're now bringing them to our chain. So in season 1, we were focused on the Ethereum chain. We were trying to reward all the folks that have been OGs with us and been with us since the beginning, and this even more so. So if you're with us through all of the airdrop claim, all of the different parts and process of the NFTs, and even going into our node sales, if you've been with us, we want you to join us in the chain that you've been supporting all this time and now become a part of that chain. So bridge over at roarbridge.io and come on to the R0AR platform at the same place it has been before, roarplatform.io, and stake. Now, here's what's exciting. We will be revealing some awesome updates about R0AR platform season 2 as we go forward. Right now, it's just staking. So before we had staking, farming, NFT staking, and all kinds of stuff and rewards. We have the same things and more coming. So when you get over there, get ready. So you can go ahead and bring over your R0AR tokens. You can already stake those for a high reward. And if you look around a little bit and kick the tires, you'll see that we have some surprises for you ERS NFT holders, Executive Order Society. We got a surprise for you over on R0AR chain. And if you're out there and you're a Lazy Lions NFT holder or our partners, we got a surprise for you on R0AR chain. You'll see the little tails. We're letting the cat out of the bag to say We're letting you guys see under the hood a little bit what's coming immediately for those of you who have already been supporting all this time. And the rewards, they're incredible. Guys, you're not going to get better rewards on DeFi ecosystem stuff than over a Roar platform right now. The returns are insane. Man, I'm excited. Are you excited, Brandon?
This is my excited face.
I love it. It's one of my favorites. And then, of course, guys, we also want to mention another big thing that's coming is Crypto U 2.0.
That's right.
And on that Crypto U 2.0, I'll take this one. It's going to be going deeper into a lot of conversations and ideas that we do bring up on this podcast and more. We go more granular. And if you've done Crypto U 1.0 with Roar, you know that you can literally learn all of the basics of blockchain. Are there other resources out there? Yes, and we point you towards those. But this is our trusted faces, our hearts, and our investment in this technology. And so Crypto U 2.0 is going to be a layer deeper than what you've seen before. There will be tutorials and steps and things that you can try and test, like the platform and walkthroughs and tutorials and bridging and those concepts. But we're going to dig into some of the big information that's important for now. So we're going to share with you guys ideas. They're really globally impactful, and we need folks to understand. We're going to take you deep in those in a way that 1.0 didn't. Now, if you've not done either of them, 1.0 or 2.0, Brandon, where can they find 1.0?
Sorry, Dustin. Say that again.
Did you lose me? Crypto
Yeah.
U 1.0. Where can
Oh,
they find it?
sorry. Yes, they can go to roar.io. That's R0AR.io. Go all the way to the bottom of the page. Down in the footer there says Crypto U. Click right there, and it'll ask for your email address. You do a registration process, and it gives you the access to that platform.
And we don't spam you. So when you put your email address in there, it's for your
Yep,
account and to keep you up to date
that's right.
on Crypto U, as well as to update you on the next Crypto U that's available. And we do those for free, guys. Those are free. Please jump in there. They're for our community. And then I want to say one more time before I pass off to Brandon for an incredible story. We need 10,000 users on our chain, 10,000 wallets attached to that chain. So if you've got one Roar, come on over to roarbridge.io, R0AR bridge.io, and bridge some tokens over. Bridge some Ethereum for your gas. And then bridge one Roar over and use it on the roarplatform.io. Get in there, jump in, join us, and add your wallet to the fray. And then if you're an ERS NFT holder and you have an ERS NFT on your wallet, you're going to want to connect that wallet to our chain because what's coming next is going to be incredible. Go look at roarplatform.io and you'll figure out a little bit of what's coming next. Guys, we are going to blow this up. It's about to get super exciting. All right. Now, Brandon, this week, you're
Yes.
just telling me, a day ago about the
Mhm.
story. Can you fill us in? Guys, this is incredible. It leads into where we're going. Crypto is here to stay. And as Brandon shares, be encouraged, and then we'll talk about the rest of our topics. Brandon.
Absolutely. So, my wife and I decided that it was time to buy a new car. Our other one was needing a lot of maintenance and just said, okay, it's time to bite the bullet. Let's move forward. So we found one. We went and looked at it, and we're talking to the guy. He says, well, you're going to need to put down $5,000 so that you can take it to your mechanic and have it all checked out the way you want to, right? And said, okay, great. I'll be glad to put that down payment on it. And I was looking at my accounts thinking, okay, where do I want to move the money from? And I thought, you know what? I've got a Coinbase card. And I just moved over some USDT, dropped it on there, swiped my card, and it was done. I mean, instantaneously. And just think, that's exactly where we're going with this ecosystem is we want people to be able to use it for day-to-day purchases. Even something like a car. Now, if that car dealer accepted crypto, man, this would be a done deal. I'd have just moved the money right over to his wallet. It would have been really easy, right? But we've got on ramps and off ramps coming. That's what we're working on for the ecosystem. We want people to be able to use it, and I look forward to seeing that for Roar.
what we're also doing, I love, is that we're leaning into that whole Visa MasterCard solution backed by tokens.
Yep.
Guys, this is real. We're leaning into the rails of, real financial freedom and accessibility.
Hmm.
And it gets exciting. I get so excited about the idea. We're constantly working on it. And believe it or not, it's closer than you would think. There's a lot of projects out there. We're just on a call just before this podcast, and on that call, they were talking about the fact that a big project had really flubbed. Their go live and their airdrop or whatever made everyone very upset. And honestly, I can see that can happen. We've had an incredible community, and we've been really fortunate because this community's gotten our backs and really pushed things forward and been amazing. And so as we've gone through the process ourselves, it can get wonky. And so we've just stayed ultra committed to make sure that we stay above the line and that we can bring, the best value, or, successfully make sure everyone's taken care of when there's issues. But there's a lot of teams that don't do that. Most teams just go, boom, here's what we're doing, and we're out. And sometimes people get upset because they put in so much effort and the logic doesn't work. And, we were talking about the fact that that had happened. And then the one of the folks that's, loosely connected to that team says, yeah, well, the real frustration is they haven't even brought anything to market. It's all based on an idea. And I went, what? So all they have is a token. And you guys, do they have an incredible website? Well, yeah. Do they purport to be an incredible layer one and do all this stuff? Yeah. Do they give statistics that are amazing? Yes. But there's nothing. It doesn't exist. Anyone can do that. It's in your head. We have our solutions running. We have built end to end the wallet onboarding all the way to the chain itself, the functionality. We've supported other chains and sister chains. We built systems that are on top of it. And we have 28 other software coming beyond the fact we've built all we've built already. And we're in mainnet and we're not in beta with our chain. You guys, it's incredible. We got nodes are being developed. We're going to best of class with Superchain and OP Stack. We're even working towards the end game of not just being Optimism rollup compliant, but ZK rollup compliant in this world that Optimism has taken us into. Folks, this is best of class. It's best of service team. And we've got more to brag on and be excited about than anybody right now, I believe. And we've really undersold it altogether. So get ready because we're going to keep talking. We said this a couple weeks ago. We're rolling out like 2 software every week all the way through the end of the year because we have a backlog of things that we have to do. We just rolled out the R0AR Safe. We have rolled out the R0AR platform. There's 2 more software for you. Not only that, we completed 2 others we ain't even telling you about that's in our team development, our team use right now. That's 4 software in less than 2 weeks. And next week, we got more coming. We will keep going down this road because we believe in what we're doing. And at the end of the day, my most exciting piece that I love about this is that you can have end-to-end crypto. You can use a card or Google Pay or Apple Pay and use crypto. You can have crypto banking. You can have rails or crypto. You can borrow against your crypto. You can self-finance your own loans in crypto. And you can be self-sovereign. You can have self-custody. And you can be decentralized, protected, secure, and largely anonymous. That's super important in this day and time. And that's the way we want to keep it. It's going to be more similar to fiat right now than anything else that's coming. And that brings me to the next topic. With a very serious heart, even though I'm smiling, let's talk about this world we're looking at around the world that's leaning into digital IDs and more. So we're talking what we do in our space about being very decentralized, permissionless, trustless, secure, and as transparent as we can be while protecting privacy, which is where fiat funds, your dollar that you can spend, your cash dollars, are. You can take that money if you have it in hand. If you have it in a bank, that's questionable. If you've got your US dollars in hand, you can go wherever you need to go and you could pay your bills and do what you want to do in cash. Interesting thing though, it's getting hard to spend large amounts of cash in certain places because people don't want to receive it. They'd rather receive it through a digital means, Visa, MasterCard, some kind of transaction wire, ACH. It's a real world we're dealing with. But largely, you got freedoms, and however you spend it, that's up to you. You know, we encourage you not to spend it wrong, but at the same time, there's freedom. It's your money. You could take that, dig a hole, and put it in it, and it's yours. And we're leaning into a world where that's becoming less and less possible. And so as of October 15th, reality sunk in with us and this team that the EU, the UK, and a large portion of nations, larger than we would hope, are leaning into this idea of digital identification. Now, it's being encouraged to everyone. We want digital ID because we can limit immigration, or we can control the borders. Or this latest thing that they started saying is it gives you better access to your resources as a citizen. And then the funniest spin, which has been the latest that we've heard all over social media, and we're just like, oh my goodness, this is insane. It's the way you have access to your money. Hang on. Did they just say the quiet part out loud? The way you have access to your money? It means that you can not have access to your money. Not easier access, have access. And quietly as October 15th rolled around into October 16th, I believe what we're going to end up calling choke point 3.0 on the crypto world, from the large entities of the banking world, the central banks, all the connecting systems, SWIFT and whatnot, IMF, UN, others involved, lock down and choke down on the ability for crypto again to do what it's done very freely and easily, as they've started instituting the CBDC, a central bank digital currency. Now I'll go deep in this in a minute, but Brandon, do you have any thoughts before I keep trucking into this?
You know, I think it's important to recognize the fact that digital currency, like a central bank digital currency, is very different than what we're doing. You know, it is digital, but it is not necessarily blockchain like what we're doing. Um, and it's programmable, right? That's the biggest issue there. And I think maybe you want to go down into that a lot deeper, so I'll let you speak to it.
If you've been through Crypto U, this is why we have Crypto U. If you've been through Crypto U, you learn about blockchain technology being built on what we call ledgers.
Hmm.
A ledger is what it sounds like. It's kind of like a massively incredible Excel spreadsheet or SQL database. I think about SQL as
Yeah.
Excel spreadsheets stacked on top of each other with the ability to communicate across. That's how I think about it, because it's a wonderfully robust data system. It's a database, but it's like sheets on top of sheets. And so you've got Excel spreadsheets where you can do calculations. Actually, Excel is probably one of the most genius software that's ever been created, has the most robust function, most usable of anything I know. It can do stuff that AI can't do fast. Trust me, Brandon and I have been working on things, and and
I
and,
proved
and,
it.
and we've proven it. Excel can do things AI has to think about for a minute. So, on that note, blockchain is the Web3 version of that ledgering, but it creates this opportunity for multiple users across the space to give authenticity through its transparency and agree and say, what happened at this day and this time that's recorded in this cell in this ledger did happen, and we agree. And so Bitcoin in the early days was all about, mining that ledger. And you mined it, you still do. You mine that ledger and you get rewarded Bitcoin that's distributed, or a portion of it, from mining that ledger. And what are you mining? Well, you're time stamping transactions that are in that blockchain.
Mhm.
Ethereum is like the race car brother of Bitcoin that allows you to put actual technology in it, what we call smart contracting and solidity coding, so that it can actually do stuff and transact and function. And of course, keep up with that ledgering at the same time. There's more to it than that. I'm simplifying it too much. But the thing is that you have a decentralization of agreements so that trustlessly all of these entities can say this happened at this time, what's in that ledger recorded is real, and they're rewarded in a token for it. Bitcoin in the Bitcoin and Ethereum on Ethereum. There are others. So that's the proof of that. And that token represents that. And you can spend that token however you want. If you have a Bitcoin or Ethereum wallet, you can spend it however you want, use it however you want, as long as they accept Bitcoin or Ethereum. In our world, you have to off-chain a lot of that. So you have to use an exchange like Coinbase and then trade it in and get US dollars and put it in your bank. And that's how it works. Or get someone who has a credit card out in front of it. And you can do transactions like Brandon talked about. And it represents, the Visa represents running that token on that chain, and the agreements are trustless, and the actual transaction of the token, the sending of it, the use of it is immediate. So where ACH transfers, wire transfers, and others take a long period of time, sometimes we call business weeks, which is 5 days, really accounts for about 7 to 9 days. Got your days on the weekends on either side of it. Or up to 21 days for a wire transfer, which is insane. That's worst case scenario going overseas or international. There's other kinds of transfers as well that take a long time. Those transfers take days. And sometimes it takes a lot of people involved, lawyers and bankers and everything, agreeing that this is what it is and you can transfer it. In the blockchain, it's immediate and trustless. Bitcoin, in its structure and system, especially with its upgrades, it's in seconds, minutes tops. Ethereum, minutes tops. Our chain, 2 seconds or less. Insane. Not 3 days, not a business week, whatever. Trustless, immediate. So that person has it while you're sitting there talking to them about it. Just did it, it's done. That fast. Even though everyone's agreeing on it. So what's that got to do with the CBDC, the central bank digital currency? These central banks that are unelected groups that represent the cash flow or the debt ownership of different nations control how money gets around, even though there are sometimes very few checks and balances on them. Even though they're supposed to be independent and accountable, you find that there is the ability for them to be unaccountable with their independence. And so we found throughout history in America, it's been 7 times in history that central bank has been unaccountable. Federal Reserve. Go look at ChatGPT. It'll tell you. Ask it. When has it been unaccountable? You can find out. I'm about to get myself in trouble because I'm talking about things that get people like me in trouble. But let's just say it honestly. Now, they're wanting to distribute digital dollar or digital representative of their fiat currency. It's not necessarily built the same, where Ethereum and Bitcoin are trustless and immediate, and R0AR is trustless and immediate. You own it, you use it like fiat. Theirs is programmable, down to a detail. Also, it's not necessarily existent on a blockchain. We're not talking about a stable coin. This is not USDC and USDT. Those are stable coins. They have fiat dollars or treasuries backing their value in the blockchain. And they're required to prove that backing, that treasury. So there's a $1 value. It stays pretty much at $1 pegged. And that's good for us to do DeFi because you're trading in and out of stuff. You need that settlement, currency. That's not what this is. CBDC will be literally, possibly something that's not even built on this technology. It has no control over how it's distributed or how it's created. And it might not be trustlessly authorized by a lot of different decentralized groups. It's that one group, that one entity that says it exists. So it's not a token. It's not in the blockchain. It could be, but it's not. And if they can program it the way they want to program it, like for us in R0AR, our token, we programmed it so we gave away our programmable rights. We can't change a thing no matter what. Somebody could come say, fix it. We really can't. That's a great thing because it means that everyone owns it and we've got no control over pulling it back. Actually, the smart contracting is set up so that we can't even stop it from functioning or going, even as the creators, that it will constantly go as long as the Ethereum blockchain exists and it's out there and not burned. So there's a lot of value there in just the ability to know that there's no way that someone can claw it back or do something weird on it that's taking its value away from you as an end user. CBDCs are programmable. They can be programmed to expire. They can be programmed to work with the digital ID and not function if someone doesn't pass the test for their quote, quote, social credit score or carbon credit score. What's a social credit score? In China, with their digital ID and their digital yuan, if you put up something on the social media that they don't like and you're pinged for it, you can go to try to cross town and go to one of the slots to take the metro or something, or even go through one of their gates and not be allowed through with your digital ID because you got pinged and you lost social credit on your credit score. You can jaywalk and literally lose the ability to go to the grocery store and use your money. Guys, as the CBDCs, as the digital IDs rolled out over India, their centralized service that holds all the identity to these and their future CBDC got hacked, and millions, if not a billion people got their identities stolen and all their information stolen. People have been put out on the streets already due to the fact they're being debanked in certain countries. This exists. So CBDCs are at the whim of a central bank. Now, in the US, that's not supposed to be possible. No one can mint money like that unless it goes through Treasury and congressional approval. But can I tell you, back channels have attempted to create a way where it can come straight from the Federal Reserve without any oversight. Not in the current administration, but the last one. The last administration looked at what was the possibility of a central bank digital currency minted by the Fed, issued around through all of our banks, and was used as the standard for interbank transactions, running on a similar thing to an EVM blockchain. And what would it look like if they could mint it willy-nilly without congressional oversight or the Treasury? Tell you what it would do, bankrupt America. But now that got knocked down, but you can go look it up. The Community Bankers Association literally had a FOIA request on it, and you can find that information on the web. All this is out there. You can look at it. We've gotten plenty of, we have receipts on what we're saying. We don't say stuff on here without receipts. This exists, this is real. Why are we saying it? We would never say what we're saying unless it wasn't dead important. Stick with us, guys. It is time to step up. Is there a need for something besides fiat? Yes. Buy gold and silver, for sure. On top of that, are we heading into a digital financial world? Yes, definitely. Fight CBDCs and digital identity with all that you are. If you don't, you're looking at a 1984 George Orwell scenario, Matrix, or worse. Like, please, everybody's worried about the Terminator and Skynet with AI, and AI is so stupid. When I'm working at it with it, I'm like, oh my God, it frustrates me, and I have to correct it all the time. It's not creative at all at this point. You have to actually force it to create something new because it constantly tells you that you're wrong as a developer. So I have to create code, force it down its throat, and then code. Worry less about the Terminator and Skynet. Worry more about George Orwell in 1984 because, folks, we are there, okay? Like, if you live in the UK or EU, you're there. If you're living in one of these countries that already said digital ID and they've debanked people, you're there. And if you're in one of these countries and you have access to the possibility of the crypto world, please do your due diligence and find people that you can trust. Bitcoin is definitely, I'd say, is our quote, quote, crypto version of a commodity of gold, and Ethereum could be silver. But there's others out there like R0AR and us that you can join. I want to encourage you, do your due diligence. Can't tell you how to invest, but fight the CBDCs, digital IDs, and make yourself diversified where you protect you and your family. Because the one thing you don't want to do is this. Spend all of your life putting your money away in a digital bank with your digital CBDC currency, scheduled to do your retirement. And then as you head into retirement, know you have exactly enough dollars to exist through your aging to a certain age and your money expire, be clawed back, or your social or carbon credit score make it so that you can't use it. Guys, this is real. I care about you more than I care about whether or not people think I'm crazy or we get in trouble for saying it out loud. It's time for folks to get loud and honest about what's going on. It is time to make a decision. There's a line in the dirt. We must say no to digital ID and central bank digital currencies. Do I believe there should be a better way to be able to identify yourself in the digital world quickly? Sure. I love my little wallet. It's a digital encryption key. My Ethereum compatible wallet, I can use it to log in and do almost anything, and no one knows who I am. As a matter of fact, I can create a new one on the fly just like that, and no one knows who I am. We're creating software you can use in applications that you can sign up for using your digital wallet only, which is just a bunch of characters and a key that's an encryption key that represents you but keeps your identity safe. When we do KYC, it's through blockchain KYC. So know your client happens, identification happens, and all documentation is disappeared because we don't keep that on record. It's just identified by that key. And it goes back to privacy. We're working with ZK proofing technology because we want to create more transparency, but at the same time, obfuscation in the right way. So banks at the right level and big institutional players in you can trust the privacy that's in the chain. This is not a small idea to us. This is everything to us. So anyways, Braden, I could go on all day. Do you have anything else you want to add before we bring this to a close?
I can't add anything to that, brother. You put it all out there, and thank you for doing that. I think a lot of people need to hear the truth.
For sure. And I'll say one more thing about what we're doing with this, with the form of digital ID that is a crypto wallet. We're taking that technology, utilizing stuff like Wallet Connect for login and log out, so you don't need an email and a password. You don't need identity. Your wallet is your identity. Your wallet is your payment method. And you can utilize software and applications, even on your mobile devices, just by interacting with it. It'll pop open and do it super fast, super safe, super easy. And personally, I love it. But then on top of that, we're building encryption that wraps the best encryption keys out there with your wallet key on top of it, creating best of class, better than military grade encryption for your data and your stuff and your photos and your documents and your communications and everything else to keep you self-sovereign. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters to us. You guys being self-sovereign and safe. We want safety for your families. We want safety for your person. We want safety for your businesses. Having been debanked, having been attacked, having been mistreated by government organizations before, this guy right here, I don't want that for you. We've done a lot of things and learned a lot of things to make sure that you have it better than us. And that's all I got to say here today. I know we got to end this podcast. It's been long. Brandon, anything else from you, my friend?
No, man. I would just say privacy is freedom, and we believe in that.
We really do. We really do. So you guys, you've heard from us. Please, if this has helped you, share it. Invite friends to become a part. Come join us in one of our projects. You'll be rewarded. But at the same time, join this movement of R0AR. It's more than just our brand and our stuff. We're a movement now, and we need your help in this crypto Web3 space. It's much bigger than you can imagine, and you're a part of it. We want you to be with us. Share this video. Invite folks to our social platforms. Come follow us at x.com. Follow us at YouTube and everywhere else, Facebook, wherever you find us. Follow us, join our groups, become a part, and let's do this thing. Let's take this on, and let's build for the future the right way. Asking ourselves, what's the next right thing for the next right reason, and not just creating anything willy-nilly because it crosses our minds or so that we can make a lot of money or get control of other people, but instead start asking ourselves not just if we can do something, but if we should do it. And then if we can do it and we should do it, how do we do it right? Because that's what's happening right now is we've got a whole lot of opportunity, a whole lot of technology, and we're running faster and faster to end game goals. And I believe it's all going to end in a globalist agenda unless we start stopping, slowing down, and doing things because it is right and it is next, and then making sure when we do it, it has the right rails and protections for individuals so that all have access to become the best that they're called to be, not just a few global elite. Anyways, you guys, got to close out this time. Got a little preach on today. Hopefully it's been encouraging to you. As always, we love you guys out there. Don't forget, Lions, it's time to roar. Y'all take care. Thanks for being on, Brandon.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Take care.